Zoe, is now a good time? I have something to talk to you about.
Yeah? What's wrong?
It's about Dad. He seems to have dementia.
What? He does? No way. He's only in his mid-60s.
It's not especially early for it to happen.
Maybe, but when I called him the other day, he seemed just fine.
He's still pretty much the same as usual. He can live his daily life, maybe a little more inadvertently. They say he's in a really early stage.
I see. I'll have to go see Dad soon.
But you just had a baby 3 months ago. You're busy raising the baby right now, right?
I am, but I'd like to go see him. I'm worried.
He's fine here. Besides, didn't you say your husband, Eric, is on a long business trip?
Well, yes, but
I feel bad for the 3-month-old baby. To move him a long distance, they would have to fly.
I'm sure if I asked Eric's parents, I could go. I think they'll take care of the baby for a few days.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'll take care of Dad. You should take care of the kid first. If something happens, I'll call you as soon as possible. It's fine, because nothing is going on right now.
Thank you, brother. I'm glad you're back in town.
I had to run home after I screwed up my job. I wish I could have moved in with Dad, but Dad keeps saying that he wants to live alone. He won't even listen to me.
Yes, I might feel safer if you moved in with him, but it's hard, isn't it? I'm sure your wife, Mila, wouldn't want to live with him. Plus, Dad has started to show signs of dementia.
Well, actually, Mila says she's okay to move in with Dad.
Are you sure?
Well, she lost both her parents early. That's why she wants to give my dad the filial piety he deserves.
That's great. I've only met her a few times, but you found a great woman. The opposite of you, who has caused us so much trouble in the past.
Ugh, let that go.
But I think it'll be awkward for Dad to live with her.
Even though we're going to take care of him?
He's been alone since Mom passed away. I think it's a little awkward for him to live with someone else again. It's not that he doesn't like it or anything. If I were old and thought about living with my kids and their partner, I would have some hesitation.
You think so?
I guess it depends on the person. Some people are fine with it, like you. But some people care about things like that, like me or Dad.
But from your point of view, you'd be happier if we lived together, right?
Well, I guess. I wouldn't have to worry as much, but I can't force you to do it. Maybe we could get a senior support apartment to rent.
I see. Well, I'll see how it goes. To be honest, I don't know what's changed now either.
I got it. Well, take care of Dad. My husband will be back from his business trip next month, and I'll be able to go back home at least once.
Okay, I'll call you if something happens.
Hey brother, I'm home now.
Oh, thank God nothing happened to you on the way home.
Yeah, everything was fine. The flight was on time. But the house? Eric was watching our daughter, so I think it'll need a little cleaning.
It's okay if it's just a little bit. He watched her by himself for 3 days.
What about me? I do that every day. But sure, he really helped me this time. He took care of our daughter at the end of his business trip, so I have to thank him. Thanks to him, I was able to go back to our parents' house.
Yeah, it's important for couples to look out for each other.
Oh, speaking of gratitude, thank you too, brother. I really appreciate you moving in with Dad.
No, it's because you encouraged Dad to move in with us. I'll be honest, I was barely making rent by myself. I'm glad we moved in together.
But he might need nursing care in the future, right? I'll do everything I can, so please talk to me about it. To make up for the distance, we'll do our best to support you.
Thank you. That means a lot. Even if he has to go into a facility, Dad's got a good savings account. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Even if that's so, I can't depend on you guys so much. Let me know if there's anything I can do.
I'll let you know.
Take care of Dad for me. I'll be in touch.
Zoe, are you still awake?
Yeah, I'm up. My daughter just went to bed.
Then I'll talk to you by text.
Okay. So what's up?
I want you to calm down and listen.
What's going on?
Dad's gone.
What? What do you mean? Why?
Did he wander off like people with dementia do? He went to the mountains today to pick wild vegetables. I thought it'd be a nice change of pace for Dad.
Okay.
Then he disappeared.
That means he's lost. Did you call the police? I mean, why didn't you call me before? It's nighttime. You pick wild vegetables when it's light out, right?
Actually, it wasn't an accident.
What? What do you mean?
I stayed in the mountain and Mila went home. Then I found a letter in Dad's room. He said that he had dementia and didn't want to be a bother to us, so he was leaving. He asked me not to tell the police and not to go look for him.
Oh my god. Why? The last time I saw him, he was in good spirits and was trying to fight dementia as hard as he could.
Since you left, he'd been suffering from dementia even more. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. But Dad said he didn't want me to tell you.
No. Is it that bad?
You know how people with dementia often ask if dinner's ready? Dad started doing the same thing. I think he wanted to leave the house while he was still conscious.
But that doesn't mean you shouldn't do anything.
I've been looking for him all this time. I knew he couldn't have gotten far on his own 2 feet.
I'm on my way there now.
You can't come now. The last flight is already gone.
I know, but I'll be there first thing in the morning. Anyway, first call the police. We can't just leave him wandering around at this hour.
He's a grown man. Even if I call the police, they won't do much about it. They'll treat him as a missing person.
But Dad has dementia.
He left a letter for us, so they won't think he's a wanderer. He left on his own will, and it's not like it was an accident or anything. Even more than our old dad. Priority is given to underage runaways, or those involved in incidents. Zoe, you need to calm down.
How can I be calm? How can you be so calm, brother?
I'm not calm. But it doesn't change anything to be in a hurry. Dad left on his own.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I know how you feel. I'll keep looking. If I don't hear anything by tomorrow morning, I'll call the police.
Okay. I got it. I'll head over there tomorrow.
I don't think there's anything you can do if you come here.
That may be true, but I want to go. I'll leave my daughter with Eric's parents.
Okay. Call me in the morning. I'll be ready to take your call.
Brother, I found Dad. I protected him.
What? You protected him?
Dad came to the house this morning, all torn up.
Oh my god. He's alive?
What does that mean?
I mean, the mountain where Dad disappeared, I didn't tell you this, but every year a few people die up there. The terrain is bad and people get lost. That's why I was wondering if I thought maybe he didn't live.
How can you say that? Dad said that you and your wife left him.
Why would we do that? Dad must have had a misunderstanding. He's the one who left on his own. And there was a letter left for us. It was a premeditated runaway.
He says he didn't write anything like that.
He's got dementia. He forgets things that don't suit him. You don't know Dad these days. He's been going through a rapid decline.
Hey, brother. Tell me the truth. I've been thinking about it a lot, and you've been acting really strange lately.
Me?
Because if you were my older brother back in the day, you were never the type to live with someone. You said you would never ever take care of our parents.
I'm getting older and rounder too. You know what I mean?
I thought so too at first, but I'm not so sure anymore. If he had advanced dementia, you wouldn't take him out to pick wild plants.
So you'd take care of Dad with dementia? You can't, can you? After you had the baby, you left Dad and lived apart on your own. I mean, wouldn't it be annoying for him to be in your house?
What are you talking about?
I left him in the mountains for all of us. I'll go dump him one more time, so send him back to me.
What?
I mean, who wants to be around an old man who's just a distraction, right? You and I both have our own lives. Don't worry, I'll do better this time.
Are you serious? Your life is over, brother.
What are you talking about?
Dad doesn't have dementia.
What?
Dad told me everything. Brother, since you came back to our hometown, you've been asking for money, haven't you?
That's not true. I just asked him if he could help me.
If he didn't give you the money, he said sometimes when he wasn't home, you'd go into the house without permission and take the cash. So he pretended to have dementia.
What do you mean?
Because when dementia comes, you and your wife's behavior will be more drastic. As Dad thought, you've pretty much been doing whatever you want since you moved in with him, haven't you?
Are you sure Dad doesn't have dementia?
Brother, have you ever followed him to the hospital?
No. But the neighbor, Mr. Jack, does. He used to give Dad a ride when he went to go to the hospital by himself.
That's right. You heard about his condition through Mr. Jack, didn't you? Dad had Mr. Jack help him pretend to have dementia.
If I told you I was following him to the hospital, you would have found out right away, right?
But you didn't follow him, did you? Dad knew your personality, and he was acting accordingly. He wouldn't do any hassle. But he said that he suspected that once you got dementia, you would show what it is you really wanted.
So he remembers everything?
Yes. You didn't expect to be dumped in the mountains. And you pushed him off a cliff?
No. That was just Dad slipping.
Dad has dementia. So you thought if he said something bad about you, you could get away with it. That's too bad. Dad has kept all the evidence of what you've done. If you don't want to be handed over to the police, leave the house now.
The police? What do you mean, evidence?
He recorded the conversation of you when you were at home. And he recorded a film of what happened on the mountain. The cameras are so small now you didn't even notice.
There's no way Dad could do that.
Dad's hobbies are radio, cameras, and trying out new products, you know? I told you before, right? When you called, I said he was more solid than I was. The call was about digital camera. He'd explained it to me in detail, and Dad knows a lot more about that kind of stuff.
Sorry. I thought it was best for us.
Best? You just wanted to take Dad's assets, didn't you? Once you found out he had dementia, I heard you were planning to change the name of the house. But Dad spilled tea on it, and the papers were ruined. Also, Mr. Jack told me something. He said you weren't looking for Dad at all yesterday.
Zoe, I'm sorry.
Apologizing isn't enough. I'm not the one you should apologize to. It's Dad, don't you think?
I'll apologize to him too. I'll take good care of him at home.
I'm not sending him back with you and your wife. Also, he said he wouldn't give you any of his assets. He wants you out of his house.
If he kicks us out, we won't have a place to live. Please don't do that.
Then why don't we file a police report?
And what do you mean by he won't give me his assets at all? He can't do that. That's right. I'm gonna get out of the house, so he's gonna give me a living will. I'm his biological child. I'm legally obligated to get the inheritance share.
Dad says he won't give you that inheritance share either. He's going to exclude you from the inheritance.
What? So I don't get anything?
You tried to take Dad's light, so that's what you get. That's all.
Wait a minute. I did what I did because I thought Dad had dementia.
Even if he had dementia, you shouldn't have done that. And yet, you become defiantly unreparent without reflecting on the situation. You are not a part of my family.
Zoe, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll never hurt Dad again. So please let me talk to him.
I won't listen to anyone who would harm my precious Dad. He doesn't want to see your face. You haven't changed at all. Honestly, you've gotten worse than you were before.
I really needed the money. No matter how much I asked, he wouldn't listen. So, I didn't do it because I wanted to.
Even if so, you did it for your own reasons, didn't you? Dad had nothing to do with it. I won't listen to anything you have to say. It's not Dad we don't want. It's you. We're throwing you away. Then, I asked a lawyer to exclude my brother from the inheritance, and so on. We proceeded with all sorts of paperwork. Instead of filing a report to the police, we asked my brother and his wife to leave the house immediately, and we got our parents' house back without a problem. Apparently, my brother and his wife had debts, and in order to pay them off, they took over the family home. They wanted to take over my father's inheritance to pay off their debts. Whatever the reason is, it was not a good reason to harm my father. And if my father really was sick, it could have ended in what my brother wanted. I will never forgive him, so I never want to see his face again. I will not help him in any way. I don't know what he will do with the debt. So whatever happens to them, it will be my brother's and wife's responsibility. Since then, I've had a discussion with my father. We have sold the family home, and he is going to live near my house. My husband and I were also concerned about my father, and suggested that we live together. It seems like my father still prefers to live alone, but living close to us, we will be able to see each other more often. I can live more comfortably than ever. In addition, Mr. Jack, who lived near my parents' house and cared for my father, as a token of my gratitude, we discussed the matter with my father and gave him a gift before his death. I will live my life being grateful to those who support me every day. And with my father who lives so close by, I hope to make many happy memories.
Avery, is it okay if I bring my family to the fine dining French restaurant next time? Of course you're not allowed to. What are you saying out of the blue? Oh yeah? So it's okay then! Yay! My family will be so excited! I said no, didn't I? What? Why? My family wants to eat fine French food too. I don't care if they want to or not. Even if your family wants to, only members of the Moms Club can go to the French restaurant. It's different from bringing your family, you see. When did they make a rule at the Moms Club about not allowing to bring your family, I wonder? I've never heard of that, you know? No, if you think about it normally, aren't there supposed to be rules? I think there should be. Even if you think so, I don't. Plus, I've already told you about taking my whole family over for a fine French meal with me. You can't just say, I knew it was a bad idea, now, can you? You don't even understand, that's why I've been telling you. Anyway, I don't expect your family to show up. In the first place, before calling your family, you should pay for all of the Mom Club fees that you haven't paid up until now. What? What in the world are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. You've been coming to dinner with our Moms Club, and each time, you would say something like, I have something urgent to do, and never pay us back. If you don't cut that out and pay back the money, everyone will get so pissed off, you know? I see. That's tough. That's tough, you say? Why do you look at it like an outsider? Because even if you say that I don't pay, it's only a few thousand to a little over $10,000 at most, right? I don't want you to say something about such a small amount of money every time, you see. If you say it's such a small amount, then you can pay it, right? No, I'm sorry. It's just when I think about trying to pay you, usually the money in my wallet is almost always gone before I realize it. I'll pay you next time, so for now, taking my family to a fine French restaurant is my top priority. By the way, my family consists of my husband, my son, my daughter, and my grandparents. That's 5 more people. Don't be ridiculous. If there are that many more, the bill would be so outrageous. Don't tell me you're going to make the Moms Club pay for those 5 people too, are you? What are you talking about? There's no reason for you to assume that I would pay for all of that, right? Well, it was scheduled at last minute, so we might suddenly have to leave, okay? I knew that's what you were thinking. You've got to be kidding me. Why is that all you can think about? Even if you ask me why, well, rather than spending my own money, I guess it's more economical for me to have everyone else spend theirs, right? I can't even begin to say how appalled I am. You're really going to get hurt someday. You better be prepared. Wow, Avery, I'm sure that kind of thing is considered a threat or something. Maybe I should tell the police that you threatened me. Wouldn't it be good to tell them? Besides, I don't think a single word I just said was a threat. Oh my god, Avery, can't you take a joke? Oh well, anyway, I'm taking the whole family to the fancy French restaurant. You guys, don't sit too far, okay? Since we're all eating together, let's eat well together. There is no way we can do that, can we? It's supposed to be for a mom's club, and if someone else's family comes, we're going to be so upset. It's okay. You care too much about every little thing. You, on the other hand, care too little. Thank you for this fine French feast. We have to go home for an urgent matter, so please take care of the bill. I ate a ton, maybe about $300,000 worth. Go deal with it by splitting it with the other moms. LOL. The police are here to arrest people who go on an eat and run. What? What do you mean? How dare you do this? No matter how many times I told you no, I can't believe you'd really push the bill on us. But it's unfortunate, isn't it? We won't be paying for you anymore. At all. What are you talking about? I don't understand. I mean, what's eat and run? I properly told the clerk that the people I know over there will pay for it before heading out, though. I'm sorry, but that trick just doesn't work. When we were asked by the clerk about the bill, we decided to deal with it this time by saying we don't know you. Hey, what do you mean you don't know me? Your club member? You do know me. But it's turned out to a situation where I had to say no. Because $300,000 is $300,000. I don't think we could afford to pay that much money. If we all split the bill, we can cover it. About $50,000 per person. If you just deal with it like that, things would have been okay. I'm not kidding. I can't believe you would go that far to have someone else pay for you. Why? You've been paying for me for a while now, but I can't believe it didn't work this time. Isn't it obvious? That's only until now, so in this case, it's unacceptable. I mean, it's not like we've been condoning it. I've warned you so many times. We've also told you we wanted our money back for what we paid. Even so, you're the one who says you don't have the money or you can't afford it. You just spout out all sorts of excuses. And then you bring your family and spend up to $300,000? Don't be ridiculous. Because I knew you guys would do whatever I said. Why should that make you call the police? You're being unreasonable. You're the one being unreasonable. I've put up with a lot so far, but I've had it up to here. And I'm going to make you pay back everything. No way, you can't. I've been trying to save money on food by eating with you guys. Although I'll end up losing money if I end up having to pay it back. What do you mean losing money? You mean you were using the Moms Club as some kind of collateral? That's right, because after all, the Moms Club is about money, right? Eat or be eaten, use or be used. It's a world of the weak and the strong. I wanted to live my life as one who eats and uses. I don't understand what you're talking about. Our relationship with the Moms Club isn't about just using them or being used, is it? Getting along with everyone, having no hierarchies, and having a peaceful relationship is what it's all about. Shut up! You and I apparently don't share the same values. I'm fine with that, but I'll do whatever it takes to get you to pay. Turn the police away at once. I don't see how that's possible. I'm in the process of telling the police about you. Wait, what are you doing? Something stupid? If you do that, the police will come to our house, right? Anyway, since we're both part of the club, I was told that there'll be no civil intervention, but since eating and drinking without paying is a crime, I'm going to have you deal with that. That's why! I told you not to bother getting the police involved. You people, you just want to harass me. Huh? Harassment? Because I've been eating as much as I wanted on everyone else's dime. That's why you don't like me, right? So you thought about giving me a good lesson by doing this kind of thing, right? You suck, because that's all you think about. You are the ones who are exploiting me. I don't know what you're talking about for a second, but we're not trying to harass you. I think we're justified in asking for our money back. We want you to be very sorry for spending so much of our money, which is why we decided to turn to the police this time. It doesn't matter what we say. I knew you would never understand. That's why! That's why I said it's wrong to call the police. I can't believe you would use the police for something like this. Shame on you! Shame! You don't want the police to get involved, so you're coming up with all sorts of ways to achieve that. It's obvious to me that you're trying to get them to leave. Simply put, you don't want the police to get here. Because if so, you could really get arrested. No, it's not that. But, you know, cops are so busy every day. If you call them for stupid crap like that, aren't you just wasting their time? It never crossed your mind, did it? You don't want to get caught. And you're only saying that because you don't want to pay the fine. No, I'm not. What are you thinking about me? That's rude. Oh, I'm sorry. I just assumed that's what you were thinking. But it's true, isn't it? Whether it's true or not doesn't really matter at this point. More importantly, I'm too upset about it. Even my family is getting impatient. They're like, what are we gonna do? This looks bad. And because my grandparents' hearts are weak, don't do anything to cause me unnecessary worry. If their hearts are weak, you shouldn't have done something bad to begin with, but you're the one who's causing your grandparents to worry more than they should. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, we're all sitting around together as a family. Stop getting my family involved. It's annoying. If it's a family reunion, can you do it at a place without the Moms Club? Trying to have a family reunion on our club's dime and bringing your entire family is troublesome, you know? What the heck? Oh, just in time. The police are trying to talk to me. You've taken money from us and did some other things in the past, so they want me to do something about those too. The police told me they'd investigate because of the amount of money involved. What? No way. Why do you do such terrible things? I tell you I didn't do anything wrong. You did a bad thing, you know. Isn't it wrong to just eat without permission on other people's money? Well, that might be bad, but that doesn't mean you should just up and call the police. Just so you know, we didn't call the police. The store did. The waitress demanded that you pay for your share. I told her the people who were there earlier were strangers. So this is just the way it turned out. Wait, did you say you're a stranger? But we are very good mom friends. I never thought we were close at all. But, well, it can't be helped now that the police are here, because I think it's not too late. You better go to the store and pay as soon as possible. That way, I don't think the charges will get bigger. No, $300,000? What would my husband say if I paid such a large sum of money? Does your husband know you're eating on our dime in the first place? There's no friggin' way he should know, right? When I told him that the Kind Moms Club would pay for today's family meal, he was convinced. I can't even begin to express my disgust. I can't believe you did that without telling your family. Well, if your family knew that you're doing that, they'll be quite shocked. If my husband or grandparents knew about this, I think they're going to be very angry. Ah, thank goodness my family still has some common sense. Well then, I'll let your family scold you thoroughly. And then pay me back, please. I told you I don't want to. It's your fault. If you guys hadn't gone off on your own, I would have been able to eat on your dime. Well, I don't know. This was a large amount of money, so of course we can't just overlook it, but if not this time, you would have continued stealing from us bit by bit, over and over again. And I think we would still have the same result, right? I don't care what you say. Anyway, I'm mad at you guys. Destroying my peaceful life? You're demons trying to destroy my family. You hate me that much? You hate me that much? You're disgusting. Anyway, do you think that cursing will make the situation go away? I'm sorry, but no matter how much you curse at us, the police will act, and I'm sure your family will be furious. I hate it. Why should I go through that? I did nothing wrong. I just lived a normal life. Dining on mom and dad's money is not a good idea. I wouldn't say they just lived a normal life. Yes, I got an idea. You're all done. Wow, still scratching your feet at this stage of the game. Give it up already. Shut up. You guys should be nicer to me. We're mom friends, right? I thought moms in this club are supposed to get along with their friends properly. Oh my goodness, you finally said something like that. I've been saying that from the very beginning, right? All moms are equal. Nobody's higher or lower than anyone. It's a must to have a peaceful relationship, you see. Then you could have been kinder to me too. The Moms Club is peaceful. So why do you think that we treat you so badly? That's because I don't consider you a member anymore. What? What are you saying? I've warned you many times before. I've told you to stop eating on other people's money, but you wouldn't listen to me. You kept acting the way you wanted to. I'd say that's disrupted the peace within our Moms Club, wouldn't you? We don't need someone who causes trouble within our club, is what I'm saying. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean. Why should I be the one to be told that? I'm not disrupting things. You're the only one who thinks so. In fact, all of the moms in our club feel that order has disrupted. So they want you to leave the group. No way. Why do you have to say that? I don't want to leave the Moms Club. If you do that, I'll never be able to use Mom and Dad's money again. I won't be able to eat as much as I want. That should have been impossible from the start. You just misunderstood and thought you could. No. I will continue to use other people's money and keep eating that way. I absolutely hate that I have to go through this because of you. People such as you. Do you think you'll get away by throwing on a tantrum? I'm sorry, but I don't think we can do that, can we? Aria said that she has your husband's contact info. I'll tell your husband about this one, and I'm sure the police will be at your house soon. Don't think you can escape. Oh no, how could you? When did we get into this situation? Where did I make the wrong choice? When you were eating using other people's money. I think that's when you made the wrong choice. Well, let's take a lesson from this one. Next time you ever join another group of moms, why don't you just make sure it doesn't happen again? No! Why should I have to go through this? This is absolutely wrong. This is so wrong. Please be nicer to me. Ella contacted me on numerous occasions, but Aria immediately contacted Ella's husband, and I heard that she got severely scolded by him. After getting scolded, all the lunch money that Ella had taken was repaid, and he also paid $300,000 for the restaurant bill. He also had to pay a fine to the police. After having her husband do all of that in her stead, it said that Ella had to take on a part-time job in order to pay all that money back to her husband. She got kicked out of the Moms Club, and, having no close friends, I heard she now leads a lonely life. At least until Ella pays her husband back all the money, she will not be able to live a happy life. She brought it upon herself. We had a lot of fun after Ella was gone. We all went to different restaurants, and we enjoyed talking and eating without Ella.